But that doesn't mean that she was set down in a Hispanic ghetto in the Bronx and had to deal with that growing up, and that she's come from a working class family.
It implies that it implies that in some way she's behind the 8 ball because of that, and it's just not true. And so
I don't know if she's behind the 8 ball, but I don't think she's as privileged as many people who are in Congress right now.
Is that privileged or not? She was a bartender.
Yeah.
You know, so I was a delivery boy.
Talk is growing that AOC could be preparing to run for the Democratic presidential nomination in 2028. But Bill Maher warns that choosing her as the party's candidate could lead Democrats into a tough and painful election defeat.
I'm not saying the policies that she espouses, that's the direction, but I'm saying that you have to give the people who are out front speaking for the party, not the people who are.
If you think
she's evolving,
yeah, she's evolving,
and
as we all are,
and she is moving into She understands the game a little bit more, and if you notice, she is sort of becoming a sort of normal kind of Democrat in many ways.
Yeah. He didn't hold anything back. His arguments were direct, sharp, and brutally honest. So make sure to hit that subscribe button. And let's jump right into it.
Not about the big crowds that come out to you when you're talking in a festival or wherever they are. I think it's because I think Bernie showed up at Coachella. That must have been fun for the fans. It's who shows up on Election Day. And I just don't see that's the ticket. I mean, Cory Booker, I know you've worked with him. I like Cory a lot from my home state of New Jersey. Made a speech for 25 hours. Again, just whacking each other off. This is just not what's going to get the job done.
Bill Maher admits that AOC can attract huge crowds, especially when she appears alongside people like Bernie Sanders or Zohra Mamdani. The atmosphere is exciting, the visuals are powerful, and the crowd is full of energy that's hard to miss. But if recent elections have shown anything, it's that large crowds don't always turn into real votes when Election Day arrives. The excitement at rallies doesn't always carry over to the ballot box. Just look at the last election. Kamala Harris and Tim Walz were drawing massive crowds, filling venues with loud, enthusiastic supporters who made it seem like victory was within reach. But when the votes were counted, that excitement didn't lead to a win. That's where Maher makes his point. Crowd enthusiasm is not the same as being able to win an election. Big rallies may create headlines, but elections are won by reaching a broad group of voters, not just by generating excitement. And Maher believes that's the difficult reality Democrats may have to face.
People love AOC. People love Jasmine Crockett. People love Eric Swalwell and the like. And I think that the Democratic Party should put the people out there who the people want. They should put the politicians out there who the people want, who they're asking for, who are meeting the moment with the same energy that
they're not asking for AOC.
Yes, they are.
The people you party with
No. The people I party with don't like AOC.
Oh, please.
No, they don't at all.
Well, most people don't.
Maher points to what he sees as a hard reality. AOC may enjoy strong support among many Democrats, but that support drops off quickly once you look at the wider group of voters. Democrats like her. And that's why her rallies are often full of energy, excitement, and people who feel part of a growing movement. But once you move beyond that audience, the response becomes much less enthusiastic. According to Maher, the biggest reason is ideology. Many voters see AOC as too far to the left and too closely connected to policies and messages that don't match what they believe are everyday concerns. Critics say she represents a style of politics shaped by woke culture and progressive activism, which they believe turns away moderates and independents. Whether that view is fair or not, they argue it becomes a major challenge in a national election. Maher's conclusion is simple. Exciting your core supporters is important, but elections are usually won by the candidate who can also earn support from voters in the middle.
Let me tell you why I'm saying that. Because because people will vote for AOC and Donald Trump on the same ticket. Because they're authentic. No, because they're authentic.
I don't think Don.
I think you're wrong about that.
What people like about people like Trump and Fetterman is because it's irrelevant to her life.
But you don't know her life.
I know that being a gorgeous woman who I wouldn't even know was Hispanic in a city that has 1 million Hispanics and does not treat them badly.
But that doesn't mean she doesn't struggle. That doesn't mean that she was set down.
It implies.
Maher also questions what he believes are weak spots in AOC's public image, focusing on the story she often tells about working as a bartender. He argues that the story may be presented in a way that helps build a relatable working-class image. In his view, it feels less like a simple personal story and more like an effort to shape how voters see her. That's where he believes things begin to fall apart. He says today's audiences are more aware, more skeptical, and much quicker to notice anything that seems staged or carefully performed. Once voters feel that someone is acting instead of being genuine, the reaction can turn negative very quickly. Maher's message is clear. Authenticity cannot be created just for appearances. And when people believe someone is trying too hard to seem authentic, it doesn't just fail to impress them. It can end up driving them away instead.
But that doesn't mean that she was set down in a Hispanic ghetto in the Bronx and had to deal with that growing up, and that she's come from a working class family.
It implies that it implies that in some way she's behind the 8 ball because of that, and it's just not true. And so
I don't know if she's behind the 8 ball, but I don't think she's as privileged as many people who are in Congress right now.
Is that privileged or not? She was a bartender.
Yeah.
You know, so I was a
with
delivery
her
boy.
policies, but I'm saying sometimes, Bill, you don't agree with Donald Trump's policies.
No.
But that's what the people want.
Some of them.
Whether you like her or not, I don't like what she did with Amazon in New York, but I think AOC she's a Democratic icon.
Maher seems genuinely surprised by Don Lemon's argument because he doesn't believe likability is what wins elections. He strongly pushes back on the idea that being popular is enough to carry a candidate to victory. In his view, the bigger question is simple. What policies does the candidate support, and where do they want to lead the country? He believes those are the things voters think about when they cast their ballots. Maher points to the last election as an example. Kamala Harris had moments of strong public support and received plenty of positive reactions from crowds. But when Election Day came, many people still seemed unsure about where she stood politically. Was she moving toward the center, or was she heading further to the left? Maher argues that uncertainty made many voters hesitate. And in politics, he says, hesitation can be the difference between winning and losing.
Well, she's the wrong. If you think that's the direction the country, the Democratic.
I'm not saying the policies that she espouses that's the direction, but I'm saying that you have to give the people who are out front speaking for the party, not the people who are.
If you think
she's evolving,
yeah, she's evolving,
and
as we all are,
and she is moving into
right.
She understands the game a little bit more, and if you notice, she is sort of becoming a sort of normal kind of Democrat in many ways.
Yes.
I think she's a
great.
It's a very smart tactic. She's very smart.
Let's get behind that.
Maher's main argument is that AOC hasn't changed much politically. He believes she's still tied to the same progressive policies and message that first made her well known. He says that even though politics has changed, her approach hasn't expanded enough to attract a wider group of voters. In his view, that makes her a risky choice to lead Democrats in a national election. He argues this isn't only about style, but about policy. Maher points to issues like immigration and her support for democratic socialist ideas as possible weak spots in a general election. Critics believe those positions are too far from the political center and could turn away moderates and independents. Maher's conclusion is simple. Leading a party means winning support from more than just your core base, and he questions whether AOC can do that in today's deeply divided political climate.
The Democrats are doomed. Alyssa Slotkin's right. Liberals are weak and woke, especially the white ones, and they indulge all sorts of nonsense from their kids, a pattern that then continues on in the Democratic Party. Last election, it was all the gender stuff, the insistence that men can have babies and such. Liberals need to push back on the dumb ideas that come from their children.
Maher makes this criticism in clear and direct terms. He points to the moment when AOC did not publicly criticize protesters who placed a Palestinian flag over an American flag, arguing that her silence sent a strong message. In his view, actions like that are more than just symbolic. They reflect priorities and loyalty, especially during heated political debates. Maher says it wasn't just one isolated event. He believes it fits a larger pattern that raises questions about her views on national identity and leadership. Critics see moments like this as a failure to clearly stand behind American values, and he argues that perception can have serious political consequences. In a national election, he says, public image matters just as much as policy. Maher's conclusion is straightforward. Once voters begin questioning a candidate's priorities or loyalty, doubt starts to grow. And in politics, that doubt can quickly damage a campaign.
James Carville knew how to win, and he blamed the Democratic losses this November 2nd on stupid wokeness, to which AOC fired back that wokeness is a term almost exclusively used by older people these days. So that should tell you all you need to know. What? This is a term folks like you brought out very recently and had been proudly displaying at every march since. Just last year, The Guardian declared woke the word of our era. I guess they didn't get the memo from the Mean Girls Club. We don't use that emoji anymore. Woke, please, we say fetch now.
Interestingly, AOC now seems to be separating herself from the word woke, even though critics argue that the ideas and policies connected to that label have stayed the same. Maher focuses on that change. To him, it doesn't look like real growth or a change in thinking. He sees it as a strategic image makeover, removing a word that has become unpopular while keeping the same beliefs underneath. He points out that not long ago, AOC and her supporters openly embraced that label and made it part of their political identity. But as public opinion changed, the term slowly faded from their messaging. Maher sees it as changing the wording without changing the message. And he believes voters notice that, especially for people who are already doubtful, it can look like political convenience instead of genuine change. His main point is simple. Changing the label doesn't change how people see you, and in a national election, perception can make all the difference.
Every month I see a new poll reporting how much Latinos despise the woke term Latinx. It's about as popular with them as a reboot of Speedy Gonzales. Even the country's oldest Latino civil rights group came out against it, yet AOC keeps defending it, saying gender is fluid, language is fluid. Yes, and Latino voters are fluid.
Beyond moving away from the word woke, AOC appears to continue supporting labels like Latinx, even though many people in the Latino community have criticized the term. That is the issue Maher focuses on. He believes it shows a larger pattern where she holds onto ideas that don't connect with a wider audience while stepping back from positions that could appeal to more mainstream voters. Maher's criticism comes from what he sees as a disconnect with everyday Americans. When a term meant to represent a group is rejected by many within that group, continuing to use it can seem out of touch rather than welcoming. At the same time, changing language that was once a major part of a movement can raise questions about consistency. His argument is direct, supporting ideas that many people reject, while ignoring what others consider common sense can create a political divide. And fixing that divide is not easy.
That is what's so odd about this time that we're living in. For all the talk about fighting for the soul of America, nobody seems to like it very much. Too many liberals give the impression that to them, America is just a big, ugh, the red, white, and ew. A country that started out bad and will always be bad, founded on an unrelenting history of sucking and unable to change. But we have changed a lot. Democrat Cori Bush tweeted, "This land is stolen land and black people still aren't free." And this was on the 4th of July. Really? Not that I give a shit about the 4th of July. I've never been a rah-rah guy, but I am a perspective guy. And that's what too much of the left has lost, perspective.
At the center of Maher's criticism of AOC is one major question: electability. He acknowledges her energy, her ability to draw large crowds, and her strong support among Democratic voters. But he questions whether that support can grow into a nationwide winning coalition. From concerns about ideology, questions about authenticity, and changes in political messaging, Maher describes someone who can excite her supporters, but may have trouble convincing people who are unsure about her. His message is straightforward. Elections are not won by enthusiasm alone, carefully crafted images, or changing labels. They are won through clear positions, consistency, and the ability to connect with voters from different backgrounds. When people are unsure where a candidate truly stands or notice a difference between words and actions, trust can begin to fade. And in politics, that loss of trust can be costly. Maher's final point is simple. Unless AOC can move beyond her core supporters and address these concerns, she may remain an influential figure without becoming a successful national candidate.